I feel like shit.
Monday, happy days. Wednesday, happy days. It's just Friday, happy days. The weekend comes. It's just one of those days when you don't want to wake up. Everything is me. You don't really know why, but you want to justify. When there's so much off, no human contact. And if you interact, your life is on contract. Your best bet is
Knock it off, you scumbucket.
it's just one of those days. It's just one of those happy days. It's just one of those happy days. It's just one of those happy days. The weekend comes, the cycle runs, ready to extend. It's just one of those days, feeling like a freight train. First one to complain, leaves with a blood stain. Damn right, I'm a maniac. You better shoot, cause I'm fucking up your program. And if you're stuck up, you just locked up. Next in line to get fucked up. Your best bet is to stay away, motherfucker. It's just
I'm losing my cool.
it's all about happy days. It's just one of those happy days. It's just one of those happy days. The weekend comes, the cycle runs, ready to extend. These days,
I feel like shit. My suggestion is keep the distance.
right now I'm dangerous. Right now I'm dangerous.
Something's happening to the farms.
My day keeps going this way and this way.
I'm gonna pop you one so you'll start playing games.
Give me something great. Give me something great. I hope you know I got a chainsaw. A chainsaw. A motherfucking chainsaw.
What?
So come and get it.
What we got here is a case of mistaken identity, you know? See, now this here is
Not Robert.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Chief Moody, and welcome to episode 40 of the Mood of the Nation podcast. Ah, dear, almost about the cough there, but I managed. How is everyone doing this fine Thursday evening? Yeah, today is the 4th of November. I actually cannot believe tomorrow is going to be the bonfire night. You know, remember the 5th of November. Can't believe that. This year has been really, really quick. I still can't believe that. Let me see here. Of course, we've got a lot of familiar faces in the chat already, such as, of course, the one and only. Well, I'm sure it'll be both her and Sam, Laura and Sam. Even though, hope everyone is well. Even to you too, Laura and Sam, if you're there as well. Appreciate you both being here. We also have Kerr from the PA Young Scots podcast. Ethan, new mic, audio sounds really good. No, it's actually the same microphone I've been using since 2018. So it's not exactly like a brand new mic, but hopefully my connection will be up and running all too good tonight. Hopefully there's no any hiccups or anything like that at all. Streaky Bacon, real quick. Chief Moody, hope you're well. Thank you very much, Streaky Bacon. I hope you're doing well as well. I'm actually doing fantastic. Today it's just been, even though it's getting really cold now, but no, besides that, it's actually been pretty good for the most part. I remember when the Fawns jumped the shark. Yeah, that was a short clip I remember as well. Tricky Hoot. Let me see here. Of course, we got Bill, PA Wales, Hostel Kings of Pool. Well, even to you too, Bill. Thank you very much for watching the show. I think I've only played like 2 people during the game of pool at the hostel, but it was a lot of fun. But it's a shame we couldn't play it like more games. But hey, it happens. But maybe next time in a different hotel or place along like that. So, who else is here? We also have Budgie Burger as per usual. How you doing? Gammon Sandwich as per usual. Hey, how you doing? English Sailor. Good evening to you too, sir. Or ma'am, I don't know what gender you are. I'm not assuming your gender or anything like that at all. So Dornan Fox, how you doing? Hey gang, I need some white pills. There sure as hell will be some white pills today. I've got some topics I want to cover tonight. I'll start off, I'll get to the first topic in a second, because it's going to be a follow-up to the PA conference. Now, I know I talked about the conference itself back on Sunday's episode with episode 38 of Mood of the Nation. However, there have been a couple of articles that came out in response to the conference itself, so we shall dabble into that later on. And then after that, I'm going to be talking about something that came to my attention as of recently today. So I think it was shared by none other than Kenny Smith from PA Scotland. He posted in the group chat within Telegram about the Scottish Football Association, how they're getting fined by a certain group of people. You know, these people. I'll get to that later on, and then finally, I'm going to talk about. We'll do like a reaction to the new commercial that came out, the new Christmas commercial by I think it's John Lewis. I might be completely wrong in saying that, but it's one of those diversity quota type of Christmas adverts, which will definitely cover that towards the end of the show later on. We also have What Tyler 1381. How you doing? Thank you very much for watching. Steve Cray, as per usual, thank you very much. We also have Daniel Archer. How you doing, Daniel? Just listened to Mark's speech on Radio Albion. It was amazing, very inspiring. It was very inspiring, especially for his, well, not his ever first speech, but the first speech that we had at that day. In fact, it wasn't just Mark's speech that was amazing. In fact, everyone else's speech was terrific as well. Sam's speech was amazing. Wesley's speech was really good. We even also had Jodie Kay, which is a really good speech as well. I'm surprised she didn't cry during her speech, but that's beside the point. But it was a great speech nonetheless. We also had Paul Stevenson did the fifth speech. Well, not his overall fifth speech, but the fifth speech for the overall conference, I should say. And I was really surprised at that myself. I've never heard of Paul Stevenson myself, although he has appeared on PWR not too long ago. So maybe after the show ends tonight, I'll see if I can give that a watch and then see if I can give like a quick review of that next time. And then finally, we had Laura going on stage with the final speech. Even before going on stage, and I'm sure everyone in the chat who's listened to the Radio Albion audio, I don't know if the official clips have been released yet. I've only seen Sam's, but that's about it. But even with the audio, you can hear, even before going on stage, Laura had a standing ovation from everyone at the conference, which again is a really amazing stuff, and she deserves it, of course, absolutely. So let me have a look here and see. So yeah, definitely good stuff with the conference and all the speeches, and we'll definitely cover the articles themselves in terms of the aftermath of the conference, of course. We also have Ugly Truth in the chat. How you doing? Corona, how you doing? Thank you very much for watching the show. The whole point of PA is so we can eventually live our lives without having to deal with normies. Fair enough. I tend to agree, of course. We also have Canny Hinney. How you doing? Thank you very much for watching the show. Kitchen Skillet, even to you too. Thank you very much for watching the show as per usual. Cutlets 14. I don't think I've seen you before, but if you're new to the show, thank you very much for watching. I appreciate you being here. Please like the stream and also hit the subscribe button if you haven't done so already. That would be much appreciated. Thank you very much. English Sailor again. Listen to It's Alive, Ramones live album recorded down the music machine, or I Was Born Back in the Days. Kiss to at Jodie K. Oh, fair enough. That's good to hear. Inshallah, made it just in time for sweet intro. Well, you certainly have Streaky Bacon. You certainly have. We also have English Rose. How you doing, English Rose? Thank you very much for watching the show as per usual. Appreciate you being here. And we also have Peter Walker, even to you too. Thank you very much for being here as well. Seems there's a lot of comments coming through in the chat, which is again really good. So, bonfire night tomorrow. Indeed, I also mentioned that already. That came quickly. Yep. Tony Smith, how you doing? Thank you very much for watching the show. Rory Herbert, as per usual, thanks very much for watching the show as well. We also have Amanda Lee, even all 14. Even to you too, Amanda. Thank you very much for being here. Tricky Who, I mentioned you already, but I still appreciate you being here. We've got Dark-Skinned People. How you doing, Dark-Skinned? Thank you very much for watching the show. We also have Ragnar Ironspear. Thank you very much for watching the show as well. Appreciate you being here, brother. Or sister. I'm not entirely too sure. I think I got an idea of genders in some people in the chat, but others not so much. I'm not trying to be like a quote unquote bigot or anything like that at all. But anyway, let me see who else. Guy Fawkes, where are you when we need you? Well, I'm sure there'll be someone. Yeah, of course. Even we need Guy Fawkes 2.0. I'm sure there'll be someone like Guy Fawkes in the future at some point. I'm not entirely sure, but still, let me see here. More people coming in the chat, which is really good stuff. Hightower 005, how you doing, sir? Thank you very much for watching. Kingdom of Vinland, Chief Rudy Howdy, also 14. Well, thank you very much, Vinland. Thank you very much for coming into the show. Dragon Energy, thank you very much for watching the show as well. Also, just want to make sure I haven't missed anybody. I think, yeah, even Loris in the chat saying, Sam's video is up, the rest will be very soon. Excellent. Well, there you go. I'm sure there'll be more updates about the videos coming out on each Telegram page as well. So make sure to follow everyone's Telegram channels, whether it be Laura's, Sam's, mine's, the official PA Telegram page, anything related to PA. As long as you get the know-how when those videos will be up, those pages will let you know accordingly regarding to that. So there we go. English Rose again. The conference speeches were absolutely class. The caliber was so impressive. Indeed they were, English Rose. Indeed they were. Absolutely fantastic stuff from everybody there. Excellent stuff. Prison of Color. Yes, the others I heard were good too. Indeed they were, Daniel. Indeed they were. Let me see. Yeah, John Lewis, right? I think I might have said John Lewis. I might have said something different. But anyway, it's definitely the John Lewis advert we'll be having a look at later on. It's going to be really funny stuff, I would say. Really funny stuff. John Errol Zod, how you doing? Thank you very much for watching the show. Appreciate you being here. Of course, if you're new to the channel, because I don't think I've seen you before, but if you're new here, thanks very much for watching the show. Please like the show and also hit the subscribe button if you haven't done so already. That would be much appreciated. Tricky Who, let's see, 29 degrees here in Kentucky last night. No heat. Thermal power went out. Oh dear. So it must be pretty cold there at the moment. Oh dear. Let me see here. Evola's sunglasses, even to you too. Thank you very much for watching the show. We also have Ian. How you doing, sir? Thank you very much for watching the show. Appreciate you being here. Yeah, I think that's all up to date with the chat just now, so that's all fine and dandy. Excellent. Of course, we also have National Pride UK. Thank you very much for being here. Appreciate you being here as well, of course. Sounds like I'm repeating myself here, but anyway. Moving on. Let's see. Pronouns, king/kang. Ah, dear. Britain 2066, even to 2. Thank you very much for watching the show. Guy Fawkes movement was infiltrated by feds. Oh dear. 5, 4, 3, 2. We have liftoff. Laura again. The only bad thing about the conference was not having enough time to speak to everybody. Yeah, I have to agree. Because even Laura, if you're watching, and hopefully Sam's watching as well. In fact, I don't know if Mark may be watching the stream as well. I mean, I doubt it because he'll be really busy. But for those who I've spoke relatively briefly at the conference, I mean, it's understandably so because, I mean, there was like so many people at that conference. I mean, I think it was Mark, and I'm pretty sure all the Telegram pages mentioned that there must have been around, 240 people max there at the conference. So just a shy of 250. But hey, it's still a good turnout nonetheless. And I mean, but it's a shame that there's other people I would love to have met. There's even some people I did recognize their voices, like St. Harrison. I think I recognized Ayatollah's voice at the conference as well. But the only reason why I didn't went up to them was because they seemed to be speaking to other people. So I was like, I didn't want to be that guy who would just randomly interrupt a conversation and be like, oh, by the way, I'm Chief Moody. Watch my content. Goodbye. You know, it's like, I really didn't want to be that type of guy who just goes up to people and just be like, well, hi, watch this. Bye. It's just run away kind of a thing. But yeah, hopefully in the hold on one sec. Sam is out delivering tea parcels. I see. Right, so he's not there. Right, fair enough. But hopefully, maybe if you may watch this, maybe once the stream gets fully up and running on the channel, hopefully in the future, whether it be, and I know I said this on Sunday's episode, but whether it be another conference, a summer camp, which I definitely want to come to the next summer camp next year, or anything related to any meetups of anything like that with PA. Hopefully we'll get to see each other again in person, and hopefully it will be a much more longer conversation than this past conference. Because like I said, it was literally just very brief. It was like, hello, I'm such and such. I'll let you get on with your work, kind of a thing. But yeah, hopefully we'll definitely speak to each other in person in the near future. Hopefully in this case. So let me see here. There's also Woodlander in the chat, of course. Thank you very much for watching the stream, Woodlander. Appreciate you being here, sir. Let me see here. From Kerr again. Hanging out with me was the best bet, though, really, Moody. Well, it was. Well, not just yourself, Kerr, but everyone from PA Scotland hanging around with you guys. It's always amazing to hang out with you guys anyway. I know that may sound very corny to say, but it's really true, though. Even meeting up some people from PA Wales has been great as well. I mean, hopefully we'll get to meet each other again in the future at some point, and also some members of PA Northeast, which I know I've met some of them before with the Scottish Conference, but again, it's always a blast seeing them again. So hopefully we'll get to see each other at some point in the near future. Hopefully that. So XL Viking, hello, sir. How you doing? Well, if you're sir, of course. Again, I'm assuming each gender of each person, which I apologize. I'm not trying to be a bigot. Respect my pronouns, bigot. Let me see. Ragnar Iron Spear, 31 likes, 40 in the chat. Smash that like button, folks. Yes, definitely smash that like button if you haven't done so already. Nemo Philiast, I hope I've not pronounced that right. Even meeting Welsh people was great. Yeah, I never realized that. It's like because you think I might have like met people who are Welsh in the past, but I don't know. It's just me. It's just me regarding to that. So right then. So I think that's all up to date with the chat, and looks like we're almost 20 minutes into the show, which I actually cannot believe that. Time flies when you're having fun, eh? So let's get right into the... Oh, and also, Laura, thanks again for sharing the stream as well. I appreciate that. I've just seen the Telegram post just there. So let's get right into the first topic at hand here. Now, I know people have already seen this article already. Let me see if I got the right one first of all, because there's two I have. There's one that was posted first, and then one that was posted either later on the same day or the day after. I'm not entirely too sure of that, but one is to do with like a Tory MP, which we'll get to that in just a short second. But first, I want to talk about this one from nwemail.co.uk. So we'll talk about that just now. And again, it's mainly just like the reaction of patriotic alternative at this conference. The same people who said, "Oh, we've won and it's completely cancelled," blah blah blah. But of course, there's photographs and even the videos that came out that completely prove that otherwise. That it actually went ahead. Let me just share the screen real quick for you guys right now. 42 people watching the stream, which again is absolutely amazing. Hopefully more people will show up. But hey, that's still a really good turnout. 42 people watching. And anyway, I've got the article up here. From the Mail. This was posted on the 2nd of November, which is, of course, 2 days ago. So that would have been Tuesday. Right. Next one. Police called after far-right group gathers for conference at the Villa Hotel in Levens. Written by Dan Taylor, chief reporter. So, of course, there was the establishment that we were at. As you can see at the bottom right-hand corner, there's, of course, a photograph that's posted on each and every PA Telegram page. But anyway, I'll just get right into the article itself. I'll try to be as brief as I possibly can because I have a feeling everyone has already either seen this article or even has already talked about it. But anyway, let's have a look here. Police were called after around 250 people associated with a far-right group gathered for a meeting at a hotel. Officers attended the hotel in South Cumbria, where Patriotic Alternative held its national conference. But wait a minute! I thought it was cancelled. I thought we defeated the Nazis. What the hell is all this about? Yeah, well, it backfired in the face, as I mentioned on Sunday's episode. But I won't dabble into that again. I've said my piece on Sunday. But anyway, let's continue on from there. Several anti-racist campaigners contacted the villa in Levens, which hosted the event on Saturday, with their concerns. Concerns. Actually, this is something that I forgot to mention on Sunday. I'll be as brief, continuing on from my epic rant, as people have called it. You just have to love the fact that these leftist douchebags who claim to be anti-establishment, like, oh, fuck the government, fuck the authority, I'm anti-establishment, but then expected the establishment to shut down this entire conference. You have to love the audacity and the entitlement of these people. It's just so funny to watch these people just spurging the hell out regarding to this overall conference. But anyway, I just love that, also that bit of hypocrisy from those people. Let me see. Bosses from the hotel said they were misled, quote unquote, over the nature of the event and stopped it from continuing. The deputy leader of the far-right group said the conference involved speeches, refreshments, and networking. A police spokesman said Cumbria police attended the venue as a proactive, preventive measure to prevent any breach of the peace following information an event had been cancelled and after concerns raised from members of the community. However, no offences occurred and no arrests took place. Wah, wah, wah. Oh my God, these like hope not hate types and Matt something, I can't remember the guy's name, but the amount of salt coming from these people, absolutely hilarious. And like I said on Sunday, clear victory for both PA and true nationalism regarding to that day. It was a clear victory for us troops, absolutely. Alan Jones, the spokesperson for anti-far-right research group Red Flare, there's a familiar name there, said the Villa Levens had serious questions to answer about their role in hosting a fascist conference. PA is a fast-growing fascist party led by neo-Nazi Mark Collette and with close ties to the proscribed neo-Nazi group National Action. So where's there evidence for that exactly? I've yet to see anything like that whatsoever, but anywho, PA's conference provide a safe space for internet Nazis. A safe space for internet Nazis. Oh my God. Oh, see, like I love how they're trying to use the stuff that we make fun of them for in terms of safe spaces and pronouns and shit, and then they're trying to put it on us as if like, oh, well, guess what? We're in on the joke, but now we're just turning it on you guys. It's like, no, listen, mate. Those jokes, the safe spaces and all of that, they're meant to be made for you lot because you're the hypersensitive fucking douchebags who expect the government and any establishment type to do your own bidding. So who are you to say that, to call us hypersensitive and to say that this whole conference is a safe space for us? Honestly, the audacity from these people. Anyway, continuing on from there, to network and organize their vile racist campaigns, which is why we exposed we exposed we exposed the conference venue and the event needed to be shut down. Well, it's a shame for these people that the conference actually went ahead, didn't it? I mean, sure, you could say that the evening meal was cancelled for some reason. I can't remember exactly why, but hey, we had the conference up until 6 o'clock. Most of the people, when the final speech was made and when Mark made his outro speech for the conference, everyone got up after 6 p.m. Everyone enjoyed the event, went back to their locations, being hotels or hostels, like say, like myself and other and members of PA Scotland and Wales were at, and decided to get something for dinner, whether it be out to Spoons or a Chinese or a Faunos, anything to do with that matter. But the fact of the matter is, we all had a great time, regardless if there was an evening meal or not there. But again, that's totally beside the point. But just like, just the event needed shutting down. Like, just come on now. I mean, see that whole sentence right there. That goes to show that they're afraid of us, and not in the sense of like what we would do anything to them, because of course we're not. We would never be a violent group or anything like that at all. What I mean by that is they're afraid of the idea that we're becoming a fast-growing group, which we are, by the way. We're definitely becoming a very fast-moving, very fast-growing political group in the UK just now. I mean, I think that past conference just pretty much proved that fact, that we're becoming a lot bigger and we're becoming a lot stronger. Though I do believe that we can do a lot better. Well, not a lot better, but I think we can do a bit better by recruiting more and more people. Again, and all you have to do with that is just continue to leafleting, litter picking, doing banner drops, do anything you can, like mostly community building. That's the most important aspect to get more people involved and more people to join Patriotic Alternative. It's just that whole community building, make people feel as if they're comfortable with the idea of being around people who have these opinions, but they have a love and affection for their own homeland, whether it be Scotland, England, Wales, and of course Northern Ireland for that fact. It's important that we continue on to do community building and get more people involved with PA. It's definitely important with that because, like I said, we are definitely becoming a fast-growing group in the entire UK. And these people, hope not hate, the leftists, and even all these fake nationalists who, of course, I came out of the woodwork and say, haha, we defeated PA. They know for a fact that we're becoming bigger and becoming stronger. They know for a goddamn fact regarding to that opinion. So I'll just continue on from there with the article itself. I don't think I've got too much to go by, but anyway, but just that need to shut down. Shut up. Anyway, Mr. Collett appeared on. Oh, here we go with the whole. Oh, he did this, he did that. Mr. Collett appeared on the Channel 4 documentary entitled "Young, Nazi, and Proud" and wrote a book in which he described Hitler's Nuremberg rallies as something that one would have been proud of, or proud to be a part of. Bosses from the hotel said they were misled over the event and cancelled it. The Mail attempted to contact the villa yesterday. A statement on the hotel's social media said, following recent reports and allegations, we would like to clarify that the Villa at Levens does not support or is in any way associated with the Patriotic Alternative Group. Well, yeah, no shit, Sherlock. I mean, the whole point of us going to the hotel was because we were looking for a place. Now, I wasn't like part of the of organizing the event or anything like that at all. But here's what I think went down in this case. The members of PA, they were looking for a place to hold the 2021 PA conference. So they found that this place as to be an ideal place to hold that conference. And this whole idea that, they were misled was misinformation, total bullshit, complete utter bullshit. I can imagine that Mark or Laura, or I don't know if it was Laura or maybe Sven, anyone who was the main organizer of this event, told them exactly who they are, what group they're a part of, and what they were wanting to do. Which in this case, what we did was made speeches, networking with other people, whether there be content creators or just normal activists within regional groups or anything like that at all. And that was it. That was all what was meant to be said and done, and that was it. So I find it very hard to believe that the venue itself were misled regarding to that. Again, total bullshit in my opinion. But anyway, so let me have a look here and see. Oh yeah, sorry, just to finish up with that as well. And of course, we don't want any idea that we'd be associated with this group. Yeah, we're not asking you to be associated with us whatsoever. We're just asking you, hey, can we hold a conference at your venue? And that's it. That's all what we're asking for. We're not asking you to have this conference happen, but by the way, you must share the same opinions as us. That's not what was the point there. The point of it was we wanted to have a conference held. We chose this establishment as a perfect place to hold this conference, and that was it. No any forced opinions or anything like that at all. That was it. That's all what it came down to. So this whole idea that they have to say that I've not won any association for PA, I think that's more like a response to all of the phone calls they had on Saturday by Hope Not Hate and all of that, because they have a reputation to maintain and all of that. So the hotel was led to believe that the purpose of the event was for other reasons. The hotel immediately intervened. Oh, okay, so what were the other reasons then? It just says the hotel was led to believe that the purpose of the event was for other reasons, and that's it. Okay, well, what were those other reasons exactly? I mean, are you not going to elaborate that, or what? I guess not. Anyway, the hotel immediately intervened and contacted the police to stop this event from continuing and worked with them to bring it to a closure, despite the fact that the event went on anyway, and the police were there, I guess, to make sure that nothing bad happened, or despite the fact nothing bad happened at the conference anyway. Everything was completely top notch. Hell, and that's also mainly thanks to the security team of the event. Anyway, the security team were, of course, members from PA Scotland and also PA Wales. They did an absolute. I've said this on the Sunday's stream as well, but again, they did an absolute phenomenal job of making sure of keeping the peace around the venue, keep making sure that the conference was top notch. There was no any incidents or anything like that at all, and that was it. And for that, the lads with the security team did an absolute phenomenal job, as I mentioned on Sunday. So definitely a big round of applause for the security team, or even 14 in the chat for the security team. They definitely deserve it. Let me see. But Patriotic Alternatives Deputy Leader Laura Towler said the conference went ahead as planned and the group left later that day. The police were called and they guarded the venue in case any trouble occurred, she said. Ms. Towler refused to say when asked by the Mail whether PA misled the hotel when making the booking. A spokesperson for Anti-Racist Cumbria, here we go, said it became aware of plans to stage the event in the county on Friday night and mobilized behind the scenes. Mobilized behind the scenes, right? Okay. These groups view our wonderful county as an easy target for their divisive rhetoric, they said. We stand firm together against them. Cumbria is not a playground for extreme views. Anti-racist Cumbria is the antithesis of everything these groups stand for. We are not anti-white. We are pro-Cumbia, a pro-Cumbia where anyone who lives, works, and visits can do so without prejudice and racism, except for white people to check their privilege. And when it comes to white people getting together as a collective or as a group, and even going on as far to say, hey, we believe that white people should get together as because they believe in they have a right to exist and a right to self-determination. Oh, no, you can't do that because you have to be individualists, of course. You can't be a collective. Don't you remember what happened in World War II? Like, fuck off. Anyway, but that's the end of the article right there. So it's just absolutely funny stuff, absolutely hilarious even with that. I remember, I think I may have read the article, maybe just bits and pieces about that. So about the article itself. But I thought, this would be perfect to actually mention this on the episode anyway with that. So let me have a quick look and see here. They are anti-white. They definitely are. I mean, because look, we all know that the whole term racist is basically code words for anti-white anyway. So when you say anti-racism, you're basically saying anti-white. That's legitimately what you're saying anyway. So there's Laura in the chat mentioned here as well. I did actually answer that question. All right. And you said, I don't want to put the venue or any of our future events at risk. There you go. So basically the newspaper lied. And as Laura in the chat did say that she actually did give an answer, but as we've seen in the article that the article claimed that she never gave an answer, but instead she actually did give that answer, of course, in the chat just now. So I think it would be fair to say that everyone, myself included, in the stream just now, that I think we're all are going to take Laura's side anyway. There's no way we would believe what the newspaper would say regarding to that. And there was a question I want to respond to in the chat real quick. Where was it? Security were superb. Indeed it was. Streaky Bacon, indeed it was. Exile Viking, I would rather be a member of PA doing leafleting than those hope not hate grifters. Yeah, that's a good point. Definitely. Indigenous Advocate, hello, how you doing? Thank you for watching the stream. Next year, the Red Filth will go all out to derail our conference. Sorry to Blackpill you all. We need security, a solid venue now. We need to secure a solid venue now. I'm going to suggest a potential place to the leadership. Fair enough that you definitely do that. I think it's definitely a lesson when it comes to this past conference. Don't get me wrong, it was a big success. Don't get me wrong on that. But I think if there were come to a point where if we're going to do like a future conferences, and obviously we want to make sure that this type of doxing doesn't happen again, I think it's a good idea for not just the leaders of PA, but I think everyone to get involved and give their own input and say, hey, we should try and do this or this or this. But anyway, that's just a tip for thought anyway regarding to that. So I can't remember exactly where the comment was. English Sailor, real quick. Chief Moody, can't help being curious, but did any PA members kick off? No, not at all. Not a single member of PA kicked off during the venue or anything like that at all. Everyone followed the code of conduct extremely well. Everyone did. Everyone was friendly with each other. Everyone got along. There was never a case of any, I don't know, what's the word? I had it in my head as well. Any, well, I guess douchebaggery or anything like that at all, or any animosity towards each other or anything like that at all. Everyone followed the code of conduct. Everyone was absolutely fantastic regard to the guests there. And it's a shame too that, as I said, I never get to speak to almost everybody there, but again, it's just because there were so many people at the conference. But hopefully in the future, I'll get to speak to a lot more people than some people that I already knew. But anyway, that's of course being that. Hopefully that answered your question, English Sailor, with regard to that. Robin Sherwood, thank you very much for watching the show. Appreciate you being here. John, hello, John. Anti-Racist Cumbria, check out their Instagram. They're pushing literature from that fat bird, Brittany something in the US from Rutgers University, who has called out for the killing of whites. Well, I mean, there you go. That explains it in and of itself with Anti-Racist Cumbria. If they're seeing stuff like that in terms of we're against PA, we're everything they stand for, and then they're pushing stuff like that. Well, I mean, there you go. That says everything about Anti-Racist Cumbria. That they are, in fact, anti-white regarding to this. So, got to keep calling them anti-white and forcing them to deny it. Exactly. They ain't just pro-establishment. Of course, definitely they're pro-establishment. Of course they are. Let me see. Mouse Cat, even to you too. Thank you for watching the stream. Beer Hall Pooch, how you doing? Conferences from now on should be held in spoons. Yeah, as if that's gonna work out. Thank the Lord, how you doing? Thank you for watching the show. Let me see here. There's another message I want to read out. John Powell, MBE, how you doing? Maybe team up with Circle. They seem to have no problems with hotel bookings. Well, I don't know, but again, we'll definitely come up with something for the future conference, but we'll definitely see from there, of course. English Rose again. Interesting how they felt they need to defend their position by saying we're not anti-white. Well, it's a very interesting point about that. I really don't know why exactly they would make a point about that. Like, oh, we're not pro this organization, but we're also not anti-white. We just want to point that out right now. So, okay, but why do you feel the need to say that? It really makes you think, doesn't it? Really makes you think. Tricky Who, Collett and company will go down history as heroes of their time. I could definitely see that. I would definitely see that, especially when it comes to people like Mark and everyone else. I could definitely see that they would be regarded in terms of like the nationalist movement as heroes within the cause. John again, even though about having the event of a boat, just sail away once all. I never would maybe give that a thought, but that'd be interesting that having a conference on a boat. That would be really interesting. That Streaky Bacon again. Next year's PA will be in disguise as an all-day reggae party, and we will all have to black out before the event. I would say that would be pretty risky, but anyway, so animosity. Yeah, that was the word I got there. Thank you for that, Nemo. Thank you for that. Dotskin again. It's funny how they try to use language like safe space as if they weren't the ones saying it for a decade. Media are like the kids in school. They start copying your insults when they get roasted. Well, that's the reason why they say it, is because they're trying to turn it on to us as if we're the sensitive types, as I mentioned earlier on, when in reality, it's like, no, you lot are the sensitive. Not only are you the sensitive types, but there's a point to be made that they're the ones who are useful idiots regarding to the establishment, because the establishment doesn't really care about them. They're just being used to promote stuff like Black Lives Matter, all this LGBT stuff, and trying to legislate all of these new laws in place regarding hate speech and all of that. They're basically just, like I said before, just useful fucking idiots. But anyway, Let me see here. Right. So that's that, and I got up to date with the chat, so that is fine with myself. 53 people watching the stream just now, which again is excellent stuff. Hopefully, everyone has hit the like button at the moment, which again would really appreciate that. What I will do now is I'll move on to the second part of that topic, which of course is all to do with the MP. I'll just get the article up here real sec. Now, this one kind of surprised me in a way because I remember during the conference that Wesley talked about in his speech about the current Tory party and how they're not exactly a conservative government. They're basically conservatives in name only. They're doing everything what the Labour Party would do, which is to pass all these very lefty legislations. And of course, you have very Tory MP types who are completely against groups like ours regarding the patriotic alternative. And you think there's no way if this conference were to come to an end, like, and of course everyone goes back into some form of normality. Sorry. There's no way any Tory MP would come out of the woodwork and say stuff like, "Oh, PA is a horrible, terrible organization. They do not reflect on British values," and blah blah blah. Well, this came out on the 2nd of November, of course, 2 days ago. And I have to say, this article right here, without even reading it, this article right here just proved Wesley's point about the Tories are basically complete, utter, treacherous scumbags who don't represent the people of Britain whatsoever. So this MP right here just proved Wesley his point correctly, completely proved him right, as it says in the article here. And this one's by the Cumbria Crack. First for local breaking news. Okay, don't know why you would call it Cumbria Crack, but that's beside the point. Cumbrian MP on far-right conference, neo-Nazi group not welcome here. And the MP himself is a Tory MP by the name of Simon Fell. And according to the article here, writes, a Cumbrian MP says a far-right group are not welcome in the county after they attempted to hold a national conference at a hotel in its constituency. Police were called to the Villa Hotel in Levens yesterday to help hotel staff bring the national conference of fascist group Patriotic Alternative, or PA for short, to an end. Despite the fact it went on ahead, but again, we already know that, so continue on from there. The force said it attended the venue as a proactive, preventive measure to prevent any breach of the peace, following concerns raised by members of the community. Barrow and Furness, hope I'm pronouncing that right. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Where was I? Oh yeah, here we go. MP Simon Fell said, I understand that a far-right group, Patriotic Alternative, attempted to meet at a South Cumbrian hotel over the weekend. I want to place on record my thanks and first and foremost to Anti-Racist Cumbria for the work that they and others did to shut this down. Never mind the fact they never shut it down, the venue continued on anyway, so what exactly have they accomplished? Nothing. We continued on with the venue, and for us, it was a big success and a huge victory on our part. Groups like Patriotic Alternative promote division and fear. They have no place in our community. We are a tight-knit community in South Cumbria, but welcoming and tolerant with it. As we have seen with the Syrian and now Afghan resettlement programs, here we go. When people are in need, our people step up to the plate with incredible generosity and speed, regardless of race, creed, or color of skin. Why is it that this guy sounds a lot like these like hope not hate types, or any of the, or like what's the jogger's name? David Leving or David Lanny or something like that, or Diane Abbott, or any of these like lefty types. He calls himself a conservative. Like I said, he's basically conservative in name only. Like, he just proved Wesley his point correctly with his speech. They're not really conservative. They're basically liberals who just call themselves like Tory for really no reason other than to be the opposite of the Labour Party, but or maybe something to that effect. I don't know, but even still. I want to make it absolutely clear that those who wish to sow division for political gain are not welcome in our towns, communities, or in our county. Together, we are stronger. We live in an inclusive and tolerant place that is stronger for it. Yeah, we'll talk to the people who've been victims of multiculturalism across across Britain, especially places like Telford and Rotherham. I'm sure they'll tell you a completely different story to that, but of course they don't matter in their opinion in this douchebag's mind, because it goes against the established agenda regarding to that. So this neo-Nazi group is not welcome here. Well, it's a shame that we actually went to the venue, and the venue continued on regardless. So anyway, PA's leader Mark Collette, a Nazi sympathizer, here we go, and Holocaust conspiracist, writes in his book The Fall of Western Man that when it comes to the notion of white guilt, nothing is pushed more strongly than the alleged extreme extermination of 6 million Jews at the hands of the German people. He also describes Hitler's Nuremberg propaganda rallies as something that one would have been proud to be a part of. The party campaigns for non-whites to leave Britain, for an end to laws surrounding hate speech, and would ensure no public body will promote any alternative as either equal or superior to the traditional family of mother, father, and children. See, you have to love all these. I know this is not an original point, but all of these news articles do this. Like, they always have to push in that wee jab at Mark Collette. Mark Collette, well, don't you know he's a former member of the BNP, and he said this and he said that. It's like, how is that even relevant to what's being talked about? Oh, I know, because you're desperate to make both Mark Collette look bad, and you're trying to make the entire party of PA look bad because by putting all the stuff in there. So really nothing more to say regarding to this article. This guy is an absolute cuck. The fact that he calls himself a conservative is absolutely disgraceful. As I said, there's absolutely nothing conservative about him whatsoever. These people, I really don't know why exactly they would be part of the Tory party to begin with, because, as I said, they're no different than groups like Hope Not Hate or Anti-Racist Cumbria or anything like that at all. So, like, why call himself a conservative again? Like, I don't know. But the fact of the matter is, the guy is a complete cuck regardless, like an absolute massive cuck. Shame on him. Shame on him. Anyway, so let me see. I'll go back to this pit here, or this back to the full screen. 60 people watching the show. Again, that's really excellent stuff. And that comes to the end of that topic about the conference. So, of course, people are trying their best, their damnedest even, to try and make the conference and also pay look bad regarding to that. It's just, again, it's so transparent in what they're trying to do here. They're just so desperate to try and beat you over the head with this idea that, oh, PA is a horrible group, you should never join it, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, look, many people are seeing through your bullshit and joining Patriotic Alternative, regardless if they've seen the article or not. Many people are getting sick and tired of these mainstream journalists and mainstream sources, of all kinds regarding to that. These Brandon people, yeah, definitely. Utterly cuckery. Oh, that's that good. It definitely rhymes regarding to that. That's really good. So, utterly cuckery. I like that, actually. Thank you. One thing that always gives me a hearty chuckle is watching the Russell Brand hit video on Colette and looking at the comments. I've never actually watched that video because of Russell Brand. I can't stand that prick for the life of me. He's just... There was a period, I can't remember when exactly, this must have been like a few years ago, when when Russell Brand coming out and claimed to be like a socialist and all of that. He's like, oh yeah, I'm Russell Brand, I'm a socialist, we need to be like equal for everybody. It's like, no, I mean, you're not a socialist. You're basically some douchebag. Like, I can't stand that guy. It's this whole... Oh, I'm for the people. Like, no, wait, if that's the case, why are you still living in a life of luxury then? If you claim to be a socialist, actually stand by your principles. But that's the thing. They don't ever stand by their principles with regard to the left. They never, ever do that. I couldn't stand Russell Brand, which is why I never watched that clip with Russell Brand talking to Mark Collette. I would imagine that it would be something just completely cringe to watch it, mainly because of Russell Brand being in it, of course. But anyway, I am effing that in the morning. I'm an effing that in the afternoon. Fair enough. That's a good point to make. Bran looks like if California was British. Oh, that's a really good point. That's a really good point. Bran is on point on a lot of stuff at the moment. I do wish he'd debate Mark now, though. Right. Hey, Mooney, I hate Russell Brand too. Well, that's good to hear, Indigenous advocate. But Woodlander, that's a good point to make as well. I haven't seen his recent stuff, but I don't know. Maybe I'll give him at this point the benefit of the doubt. Maybe I'll check it out and see from there. But I can't promise anything that I'll like the guy. But maybe there'll be stuff that he says I'll maybe agree with him on. But I'm not going to be like an instant fan to be quite honest with you with that. I'm not going to be an instant fan. Jojo Gizmo, I so support the SWP. Hope not hate commies because they're the good guys, right? Responsible for 150 million deaths. Yeah, exactly. Good point with that, Jojo. Good point with that. In fact, not just that, you could even say like because of communism, you could even say historical events like Holodomor happened, during that time. But of course, those commies, they tend to sweep that under the rug because it goes against their whole worldview, doesn't it? It goes against their entire worldview. Digital Africa. I don't know if I've read this already, but let's go, Brandon. Mouse cat. I eat. Let's see, a bit of multivitamin and white pepper. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Don't know what that is, but that's for a point to make. These people. Good attempt, Chief Marie. Well, thank you very much, Streaky Bacon. Thank you very much. He probably, oh god, ugly truth. He probably takes backhanders off woke companies like all the others. Probably does. I wouldn't be surprised if he did do anything like that. So he looks like one of these people, even if probably isn't. You never know. You never know in the fact. Maybe he is, but maybe not. But you never know. He looks like a conservative gay. Oh dear. I was secretary for Carlisle BNP for 4 years. I loved it when the Great Unwashed tried to hassle me. I see. I see. That's interesting with that point. Thank you very much, thank the Lord. Kendall needs to be hammered with P leaflets ASAP. Yes, I would agree with that fact. I wonder how many Cumbrians read those policies and thought, sounds very reasonable to me. To be honest, probably none. I would have thought maybe there would be when we were at the conference during the weekend. I would have thought there may be some form of leafleting when we were at Kendall, but anyway, maybe someday, but maybe not. I don't know. So, that's good to see. Excellent. Let me have a look here. Oh, cool, excellent. Right, let me have a look here and see what else is being said. I think it's all up to date, and most people are still talking about Russell Brand, which I can see why. Brand is a pay tool of the anti-white system. I can see that. This is why I don't really trust anything what Russell Brand was saying nowadays. But maybe I'll have a watch of his recent stuff and then see from there. But like I said, I'm not going to be a fan of the guy. I'm not going to be a fan of the guy. So I've hated Brand since I was a baby. Fair point. He's against the COVID agenda. He's probably still cut on demographics, though, I imagine. Well, if he's against the COVID agenda, then okay, I can maybe see that. But yeah, maybe the whole demographic stuff, you'd be like, no, I don't want anything to do with that. No, it sounds racist. Brian married one of the Goldsmith daughters. He's practically a rabbi. See, that's something like that would give that away, of course, regarding the Russell Brand. I heard that Russell Brand the other day. It sounds just like Dangerfield. I'm Russell Brand. Yeah, something like that. Let me see. So that's me all up to date with that. Probably is Exile Viking. This ongoing meme for Moon of the Nation will never end, will it? This is going to be a very popular meme for Moon of the Nation. He probably eats the poo-poo for breakfast. Dear. Oh, dear. Anyway, let me move on to the next topic at hand, which is another article. Let me have a look here and see. So let me have a look and see if I can find this one right here. Now, this one, as I mentioned earlier on, came to my attention earlier today before the show started well, I would say a couple of hours before the show started. It was something Kenny Smith shared regarding to that. So be careful. He's purple belt in jiu-jitsu. I did not know that. Chief Moody, at least Dangerfield is a real smackhead. Oh dear. Chief Moody, please stop the Mockney accent. Well, I do try, I do try to have an accent like that. But, of course, you can't blame a guy for trying. But anyway, so I'll just get the article up here. As I was saying, regarding to this article, this came to my attention by Kenny Smith earlier on, and it is Scottish related, which I know a lot of you may be tired of something Scottish related or anything like that at all. But I think, in terms of all the topics in our circles, I think this does play a factor of the type of people we're definitely dealing with here. So let me go ahead and share the screen once again. Let's see who's watching and hasn't pressed the like button. I've seen there is one dislike so far, so I don't know who pressed the dislike button. Maybe someone I know, maybe it's someone completely different. But anyway, moving on from there. Here's the article in question, and this is from Not the Old Firm. And it reads, Scottish Football Association hit with FIFA fine for Tartan Army's behaviour at Hampden Park. This was published just today, in fact, on the 4th of November, and was written by James Black. And it reads here, the Scottish Football Association have been hit with an £8,024 fine by FIFA for breaching FIFA Disciplinary Code Article 16, when a section of the Tartan Army jeered Israel's national anthem ahead of the recent Scotland v Israel World Cup qualifier at Hampden Park. So already we're off to a grand old start regarding to that, and these people, have a certain type of privilege when it comes to something like this, but I'll get back to that in a short second and finish off with the article here. Ahead of the sellout clash at the National Stadium, a section of the home support booed the Israeli anthem and displayed an inappropriate flag prompting action from World Football's governing body. Now, I'm not too sure if they may read or may mention this in the article, but basically there were some members within the Scotland Stadium, or the Scotland side of the Hampden Park Stadium, where some members were holding up the Palestinian flag as a way of protest to the totalitarian Israeli government and how they treat women and children, or Palestinian women and children over there. It's so horrible, in fact, that, and of course I can't show the video on the show here, but it's basically footage of children being murdered by this awful regime that is the Israeli government. Absolutely horrible stuff, and it really goes to show just how bad things are over there regarding to that. Now, I'm not saying I support Palestine or anything like that at all, but if I had to pick, I would probably say I would pick the people of Palestine over the people of Israel, because of that. But let me just continue on from there regarding to that as well. FIFA's delegate mentioned it in his match report, and their disciplinary committee found Scotland had failed to ensure order and security at matches, disturbance during national anthems, use of objects, flags to transmit a message that is not appropriate for a sports event. On the pitch, it took an injury time winner from Scott McTominay, hope I pronounced that right, to secure the 3 points that kept Scotland's hopes of reaching next year's World Cup dreams very much alive. While the fine is relatively small, it's like $8,000. How the fuck is that relatively small? Well, maybe for the actual football league, but even still, that's a huge amount. Still a huge amount. It is something the SFA will have desperately want to have avoided after spending years cultivating a positive impression of the Tartan Army, despite our absence from major tournaments which stretched 23 years. I'll continue on from there. I think it's just the last part here. But anyway, Scotland face Moldova and Denmark later this month in their final two qualifiers, knowing a win from either would seal second place in the group and book a place in the playoffs. Ta would then leave Clark's side with 2 games to get through if they are to become the first since France 1998 to appear at the World Cup. So, basically, in short, the game between Scotland v Israel happened during the national anthem and some parts of the game. People booed at the Israeli national anthem. People have flown the Palestinian flag during the game as well, regarding to that. And because of this, they received a hefty fine for breaching the FIFA Disciplinary Code Article 16, which, I mean, that's just absolute bullshit. And it really goes to show, because actually, just real quick, I've seen other games regarding to this in terms of the World Cup qualifiers and whatnot. You see this all the time when it comes to booing and cheering from one side to the other, but suddenly when it comes to Israel, like, oh no, you can't boo at the national anthem or anything like that at all. It's just complete ridiculous, absolute ridiculous. And it really goes to show once again, like, the certain group of people, these people, sorry for repeating that, folks, definitely do have a certain privilege when it comes to certain things, which of course is something that really makes you think, doesn't it? Really makes you think about that. So anyway, yeah, of course, oy vey or ove. Delta Trotska 125. Tommy Robinson was kicked out of a restaurant with his kid and friends. All right, that's quite bad. I don't know exactly what happened there with that, but still. Let me see here. What's it say here? Moody has caught these peoplets. Yeah, I keep hearing people saying that. Me with the guys from PA Scotland keep saying it over and, well, not everyone, but some guys from PA Scotland would say it over and over again. It's like, oh, I guarantee I'm going to be saying it a lot more. And yeah, sure enough, when I got back home, I started using it more and more. These people, football joke. Oh dear. Let's see. Victory to Palestine. Well, there you go. There we go. Yeah, but it's just, yeah, it definitely is sickening. Yeah, they are monsters. Fucking kids, man. I know, it's just absolute horrible, especially watching that video yesterday. Absolute awful stuff. Hope you beat the Jays. Well, we'll see. It's part of douchebag football culture. Well, you think it would definitely be a part of that, but of course, because of these people, of course. Sorry, I keep saying it. I know I'm not gonna stop saying it. Sorry, my bad. It really goes to show, as I mentioned before, the type of people that definitely do have this certain privilege over others. So, after all, they do claim to be God's chosen people regarding to the Jews. But anyway, who's watching hasn't pressed the like button, or I mentioned that already. Kilts up, chaps. Kindle mint cake with chocolate on top. Yum. That definitely sounds good. Really good with that. There's 2 now. Someone's triggered. Well, you never know. Based. Let me see. Every national anthem gets booed for FC. Yeah, again, you see that all the time, but suddenly when it comes to Israel, oh no, you have to be perfectly silent or cheering for Israel. Because it's Israel. Israel gets special treatment. And gee, I wonder why that is exactly. I wonder why that is. Of course, well, of course we all know why, but still. Let me see here. Everything up to date with the chat once again. It's starting to look like a worldwide thing about criticism of these people. Sorry, the channel Hot Polish Takes has a vid on the UN bitching about it. Virginia wants a anti-Semitism task force, etc. Yeah, it's definitely not looking too good when it comes to that. Like, more people are well, of course, more of that stuff is really coming out of the woodwork, and they're really trying their best to get rid of us. They really are trying their best. Let me have a look here and see just now. Imagine being so repulsive, you need special laws to stop people from criticizing you. Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's already anti-Semitism laws, I think, in the UK, from what I remember, but even still, it's like, again, you think that would wake people up, that there's something far more sinister at play here regarding to that, but of course people are still asleep to it. They're still asleep to it. So was Arab sorting that at Hamden with his bros? Not too sure. I am not too sure with that. So, Dr. Jimmy, hello. Thank you very much for watching the show. Henry Hill, how you doing? Did you see Hamza with a Palestine leader last week, Chief Woody? I did not see that. So I think that would be really interesting to hear what Hamza Yusuf would think of the Jewish community if he's standing and being friendly to the Palestine leader. I think that would be something that would be very interesting. Don't you think so, folks? Very interesting. Calling them people and not reptiles. Well, you see, well, moving on. Always the time, always the place, never the reason. Exactly. Chief Moody, it was all I could do on Saturday to refrain myself from asking Mark to say these people. Oh dear. The 4x2 formation. There's a tick from Tricky Who. Excellent. The Celtic fans fly Palestine flags, and the Rangers crowd fly Israeli flags. Yep, there we go. Going to the the two clubs. I bet Israel don't play for I'm not entirely too sure, but anyway. Oh dear. English Sailor, I disagree with you on this, Chief Moody. Some of those young Red Sea pedestrians, pedestrian girls go like an express train. Been there. Fair enough. Dear. So, Pseudonym, how you doing? Thank you very much for watching the show. There's plenty to cover this week. Jacinda Ardern, I hope I pronounced that right, shutting down a press conference because someone had the temerity to do journalism. Oh dear, I did not know that. I'll definitely have a look into that later on and see. Maybe I can talk about that on the next show, but we'll definitely see from there. Definitely did not know that. So, hold on a second here. Why the fuck do Rangers fans fly Israel flags? I don't know. I actually never knew they did actually flew Israel flags, but maybe it's a whole Sibnat thing where it's like they're for Britain, but they're also for Israel, which again, I don't understand that logic, like supporting two countries. Like it's either one country or you either pick one country or the other. I really don't know why you would support two nation states, but anyway. Let me see. Hold on, just writing a quick message. A sec. Sorry, just one sec. Right. Okay. So what time is it now? 7:10. Right. So we've got 50 minutes to go. Football is gay. Yeah, I'm not really a fan of football myself, but I mean, if it's on, if it's something interesting to watch, then sure, maybe I'll watch it. But yeah, I'm certainly not a fan of the current state of football. Well, any sport for that matter. Everything's incredibly filled to the brim with woke propaganda, which of course is not shouldn't really be much of a surprise with that. But anyway, I wouldn't piss on these people if they were on fire. Well, that's well, anyway. So I stopped attending EDL demos because some cucks were carrying Israel flags. Well, there you go. Again, I really don't know why they would do that, but anyway. Chief Maria, question: since there are 100 times more Muslims than Yiddies in the world, why are you so focused on them? Real question, mate. Let me see here with that. Hold on one sec. Sorry, I'll read the question again in English here. Sorry, hold on one sec. Since there are 100 times more Muslims than Yiddish or Yetis in the world, why are you so focused on them? Sorry, are you referring to like why I'm focused on the other group rather than the Muslims? I don't know if that's the case in English Sailor, but the reason why I would say why why I would say that I would focus on them rather than the Muslim community is because I think because though that certain group of people, the Jewish and whatnot, definitely. Now, I'm not, of course, when I say this, I'm not saying every single Jewish person is involved with this grand conspiracy, but I would definitely say that. Well, I don't even know if I want to call it conspiracy, but I would definitely say that there are some members within the Jewish community who do have control over certain establishments, certain industries, and whatnot. And I would definitely go as far as to say that they are very powerful people. Because if you were to go out of your way and criticize the Jewish community, criticize how they have control over Hollywood or the banks or anything like that at all, then your life would be completely destroyed. Whereas if you say anything about the Muslims, sure, there may be a bit of a fear factor into that fact because of the reaction to it. But to be honest with you, the Muslims, and yes, I understand that the Muslims have done majorly fucked up things in the past towards our people in Britain, mainly like terrorist attacks and of course the grooming gang scandals regarding to that as well. There is an argument to be made that the other side of the fence, say the Yiddish or the Jewish type of people, definitely do have a more certain power over that, and I think they have a great influence on that, especially when it comes to immigration. So, hopefully, that may answer your question to that English sailor. And hopefully, that I haven't went out of my way to go on a diatribe or anything like that at all with that. So, which is why, in this case, I would definitely call myself a nationalist or an ethno-nationalist to be specific, because I definitely want my people, the indigenous people of these islands, to be the vast majority. And I definitely do believe in what Mark usually says is we need to implement true, proper equality. So these groups, I keep saying it, or something to that fact, sorry, but these non-whites who get special treatment, I believe that they should be treated like us, and not in the sense of everyone should be treated like equally or as human beings or anything like that at all. Basically the labor or the leftist way of saying we need equality. I'm talking about they don't get special treatment, they don't get any translators to them or any special kinds of laws implemented for them or anything like that at all. If they want to come into our country, whether it be Scotland, England, Wales, etc., they need to come here, speak the language of English. Of course, that's the definite must. They need to be accustomed to the culture and the history and, of course, the ways of how our people live. And if they cannot speak English, they cannot. What's the phrase I was going to say? Damn it! Sorry. If they cannot, I would say, participate in our culture or in British values or anything like that at all, then I think they should be asked to leave regarding to that and go back to their own homelands. And that goes for everybody. That goes for any non-whites, living here for years or come here legally or illegally. I'm not necessarily a fan of the current immigration state to begin with. I want the borders completely closed. So, to answer the question in this case, why I seem to focus on the Jewish community rather than the Muslims, despite the fact the Muslims, again, not every Muslim, I want to make that perfectly clear. Not all Muslims, but there are some Muslims in this country who've done very reprehensible stuff. But I don't think they are the major factor of the current state that's going on just now. I think there is a certain group of people, again, not all of them, but a vast majority of the Jewish community who do have a hand in the current state of Britain right now. In fact, not even just Britain itself. You could even see it in countries like in America or even across Europe for that matter, where they have a certain interest and a certain factor in play of the current state we're living in just now with the immigration and whatnot. So, again, I know it sounded like I'm going off on a diatribe, and hopefully that may answer your question, English sailor. So, but again, I do appreciate the question. Thank you very much for asking me that. Regarding to that, anyone flying the J flag is a race traitor. I can definitely see that, especially with these SIFNAT types. I don't care about Israel, Palestine. I've got no dog in that fight. Yeah, I think most of us would agree that most people would rather focus on their nation state, again, whether it be England or Scotland, etc., rather than what's going on, say, in the conflict between Palestine and Israel, which I'm definitely in that camp as well. I don't care what's going on over there or any country for that matter. I just focus on what's going on here at the moment. In my case, of course, being Scotland, of course. Because it isn't the most controlling us. Exactly. My dad once told me the reason we need to support Israel is because there's only two countries made by God, Israel and USA. Is this type of thinking common in the UK as well? Not to my knowledge. No, because I think for when it comes to America, I know that America definitely still has some aspect of that religious belief, especially when it comes to Christianity. Although, to be honest, the anything to do with Christianity, especially with the Catholic Church, has already been infiltrated by the left anyway. But there is still that sense of belief of the Christian values when it comes to America. Over here in the UK, I've never seen anything or heard anything like that at all, because everything is so. Everything is, at least in here in the UK, everything has become so much about atheism that it would be really hard to maybe implement some form of Christian beliefs when it comes to the British society again, because we've become so invested in atheism that we would never hear anything like that anymore when it comes to like countries like Great Britain was made by God or anything like that at all. I think we've lost that sense of the Christian beliefs and whatnot here, at least here in the UK, of course. It seems like most football supporters are total tossers. Well, I don't think all of them, but I would imagine a lot of them would be just following it just for the hell of it. The flags are just for the anti-Islam thing. There we go. You know who's are controlling our money? Yeah, that's the point I made earlier. Because the Muslims are here because of the other group. Exactly that. Exactly that. The Muslims are the brush. The small hats are the sweepers. Yes, exactly. Yeah, I meant the other group. Yeah, I think we covered that already. But again, thank you very much for the question, English Sailor. Really do appreciate the question. Because they have far more influence. Simple as yes, exactly that. Again, not just here in Britain, but across all of the continent of Europe, especially in America, for that fact. I mean, hell, just look at the current Biden administration, as I mentioned before on a previous episode. But the majority of the people in the Biden administration are not just Jewish, but they're very pro-Israel. So, I mean, there you go. Let me see. Continuing on from there. Let me see. I kind of want to finish on what's been said in the chat because I know that the next topic is going to be about the video. It's going to be reacted to the video, but I'll get to that because it's not like a long video, but I'll come to that just a short second. Who runs or has a disproportionate influence is in the ad industry and the anti-white agenda? A little research and the answer reveals itself. Exactly that. Exactly that. Britain 2066. Knowledge of the JQ should be mandatory research for nationalists of the 21st century. Yes, I would agree to that, especially if they really want to know what exactly is going on with the current state just now. Let me see here. Pseudonym again. Me becoming a second-class citizen to make multiculturalism work is absurd. It is absurd, yes, regarding to that. If that's what it takes to make it work, it's not worth it. If they want to be first-class citizens, they should go back home. Exactly that. Well, see, this is why I'm a fan of the idea of voluntary just repatriation in general. If these people, I keep saying that, sorry, my bad. If these people want to come into Britain, regardless of which specific country it is, but if they want their culture brought over or their foods or anything like that at all, sorry, you have to go back to your own homeland. I mean, it'd be one thing to come here and maybe want to change your values or anything like that at all. But hey, if you want your culture, if you want your history or anything like that brought over here, sorry, it's no longer happening. And especially if you're not going to come here speaking English, well, sorry, it's definitely a no-go regarding to that. You either have to follow the laws of the land regarding to Britain, speak English and all of that. Otherwise, don't bother come here and just stick to your own original homeland. There we go. So I know I've already said that already during the stream, but I think it needs to be said regarding to that. So Britain already has repatriation legislation. It just needs overhaul. There we go. That's good to hear. It seems to me. Sorry, excuse me. There we go. It seems to me people know when they have been lied to and react accordingly. Some react, some double down. Cognitive dissonance. There we go. Thank you very much for that, Johnny Enoch Powell, MBE. Well, Moody has these people. It's for sure. Yeah, I definitely do have that. Thanks, Carr. Because I think I've heard you most of the time, or I think it was another gentleman. Again, I'm not going to mention the other gentleman's name. Again, just for privacy's sake, regarding to the conference. Anyway, Israeli flags were thrown in loyalist areas of Belfast. Saw it on TV. The J lovers. Jeez. Seems to be a lot of influence regarding to that as of late. Our Pow, how you doing? Thank you very much for watching the stream as well. I think that's me all up to date. Oh, and also, sorry, Spiffy Acorn, how you doing? Thank you for watching the stream. I think that's me all up to date with the chat as well, so that's good. Zero excuse now for nationalists not acknowledging the JQ. Exactly that. Everyone within our circles need to acknowledge the JQ at this point. Definitely need to call it out for what it is. I think this should be up to date with the chat again. All right, that's good. Perfect. Speak English or not, don't come here. Well, definitely. Yep, good point, our pal. Definitely good point. Right, I think what we'll do now is I'll go on to the last final topic. Is of course the video by John Lewis. I think again it's from John Lewis. I'll close the article because I don't need that anymore. This one here. Now this is on YouTube, and of course, with this video, I have an idea that maybe I'll be hit with copyright because of this video, but which is why just in case, in terms of not trying to not be hit with copyright, I'm going to do of course pause it, do a bit of commentary here and there, and then of course continue on from there with that. Again, just so that is part of the whole I can't believe I'm forgetting to say it tonight. God damn it. Fair use regarding to the video. That's what I was going to say. Streaky Bacon again. Chief Moody, 60 people watching. Good numbers, mate. Thank you very much, Streaky Bacon. Really appreciate that. No, it's definitely good numbers tonight. I think it was up to almost 70, which again, really good numbers at the moment. So really appreciate the turnout tonight, guys. Absolutely first-class people everyone is. I really appreciate that. Right, let me just get the video up and see if I can try and pause it before it plays. And then we'll just get right into the video itself. Now, I did say earlier on that this video is 2 minutes long, and I'm pretty sure everyone has seen this already. In fact, you can even see some of the likes and dislikes from the video already. TPQ, these people questions. Oh, another familiar face. Oh, wrong one. Homa Talk, how you doing? Thank you very much for watching the stream. I've seen you in other streams, but it's good that you're here watching the show tonight. Thank you very much for that. I so really get to catch these live. Cheers all. Thank you very much, Homa Talk. Really appreciate you being here. Rory Herbert, Chief Moody, it would be interesting to find out who owns John Lewis Advertising Agency. You know what? I'm glad you brought that up. Let me have a look and see who actually does that. Again, just for a bit of context overall, and that way we can get an idea the type of agenda that's being pushed in this type of advertisement, or Christmas advert, I should say. Who owns, what was the question I should write? Hold on. Who owns John Lewis Advertising Agency? Let me see here. Right, I'll definitely have a look at that and see if I can find that here. Would that be right with that? Advertising agency, right, okay. Sorry, folks, I'll just be real quick and then I'll get into the actual video itself. I think I'm also kind of like stalling for time because I know we've got about like half an hour to go, but well, just under half an hour with that. So let me see. Right, okay, cool. I'll have a look at that in just a short second because I got a search bar with that, so we'll have a look and see. researching that will take a while. Okay. Maybe there'll be someone in the chat who may know exactly what it is. Oh, I think there's someone in the chat has already done that. Ellie Bree, Adam and Eve, right. Let me have a quick look at that. Again, I'll try to be as quick as I possibly can. But Ellie, if in the chat, thank you very much for sharing that with us. That's really good for you to do that. Adam and Eve. Hold on a sec. It's kind of ironic that it would be something like Adam and Eve. That's really interesting, that, isn't it? Anyway, and Partners Christmas Advert, right. Perfect. Yeah, again, thank you very much for that, Ellie Bree. I really appreciate you doing that. Thank you very much for that. What I'll do first of all is that we'll play the video first, and Adam and Steve, of course. Yeah, Adam and Eve DDB, right. I think I found an article, well, somewhat of an article about that. But anyway, sorry, I'm going on a tangent. Let me just get right into the video itself, and then we'll see from there. Hopefully the stream will not get shut down, again, because of the stuff we talked about tonight. The going no shut down. So anyway, we've got the video up here. Now, again, this video is about 2 minutes long. I don't know if this got the comments section up and running. Oh, there is. Well, that's good. Of course, you can see there's actually more likes than dislikes, which is really surprising. But let's have a look and see the actual video itself. Now, this only came out today. This is for the Christmas advert for John Lewis. Let's just get right into it, and then we'll see from there. So let's have a look at that just now. Actually, just in case for... Sorry, one sec. Oops, wrong one. No, actually, that should be fine. As long as we keep pausing it, that should be all right. Okay, cool. Trying to avoid copyright. Anyway, 3, 2, 1. Fucking captions, man. Fuck off. Okay, so just real quick, I know this is only just 17 seconds in, but already we're getting some E.T. vibes here, which is kind of funny considering E.T. was made by Steven Spielberg, one of those people. Yeah. But it's already it's being thrown at you with this whole multiculturalism agenda, or even like the biracial couple agenda, because you got the black boy and you got the white girl who's of course the alien in this short advertisement. Anyway, just continue on from there real quick.
I only knew you for a while.
Christmas tree.
I never saw your smile.
Yeah, you notice with just a little side thing with the finger thing. Again, it's very reminiscent of E.T. Very reminiscent at that, which, of course, obviously the advertisement is not going to be entirely original, but anyway, it's just beside the point. But I think it's interesting they would pick a film like E.T. as an inspiration for this, considering, as I mentioned before, E.T. was made by Spielberg, and we all know the type of tribe he's a part of, so...
It was time.
And also, again, sorry, real quick, you notice with the biracial family here, you've got the white grandmother. I think there's like a white kid there, but mostly it's like a black family. Like, who the hell is this appealing to? Who is this supposed to be made for exactly? Because, again, with regard to, like, I know the demographic changes are happening in the UK, but even still at this point, there's still like a vast majority of white people all across the UK. So, again, who exactly is this advertisement trying to appeal to? We all know exactly who it's trying to appeal to, but it's so in your face with the wokeness that it's not even funny at this point. But anyway. So, of course, he's picking up some cakes to give to the alien lassie.
This is sometimes it's hard to recognize. Love comes as a surprise, and it's too late. Just too late to say.
You got knocked the fuck out. I just want to add that in real quick. Sorry.
Too late
Oh fuck me! Sorry, sorry for the amount of swearing, folks. But this is also another pet peeve of mine regarding to these advertisements. And not just advertisements, but trailers or anything like that at all. Why is it that they always have to use classic 80s or 90s songs and do this kind of very pretentious, very gay, like modern version, it just leave the original alone. Like, why is it that it just sounds it just sounds so fucking melancholic. It just makes you sound like it wants to make you want to slit your wrist or want to fucking hang yourself. It just sounds so depressing to listen to. But anyway, that's just a little pet peeve of mine regarding to these modern day covers of these classic songs, you know. But anyway.
However far it seems, we'll always be together, together in electric dreams.
E.T. Go Home. Sorry. And of course, here comes the money shot. No!
We'll always be together, however far it
For a Christmas as magical as your first. Shut up. John Lewis and Partners. Well, that was something. That really was something. That was the most soul-crushing 2 minutes I've ever seen in my life. Sorry I had to put you all through that. Oh my god. Yes, destroying our... Oh, god damn it, where's the comment? Sorry. By James L. Destroying our past and present. Yes, exactly that. Exactly that. Oh my god. Privilege goes to shit. Yep, Tyrone Spectre. Oh, jeez. John. Oh, dear. There is a war on whites. Well, I think that advertisement just pretty much proved that, but still, I think it's not even subtle, isn't it? It's just right in your face about it because they have no originality. Yeah, of course, when it comes to the whole ET references. Imagine she goes to kiss him and her jaw unhinges like a snake. That would be pretty funny, though. That would be funny. Fellowship of the Offshore Parasites. Jerk Turkey, no doubt, probably. £8 million they paid for this palette. Really? It cost £8 million to make that? Jesus Christ. That's unbelievable, that. White liberals, yep. Made for blacks, TV is a hell world, yep. It's Black Christmas. They're all joggers, yeah. Well, of course, there was maybe a couple. I don't know if maybe they're like related to the family, but even still, anyone remember the boy from outer space? I don't remember that. I don't know if I may be too young to remember that, but still. And it's the white who's the alien, subliminal Chief Moody. Yeah. I never noticed that until you made that point. Beerhole Pooch. Yeah, very interesting. That very interesting. That. E.T. Ebonic Terrestrial. Oh, God. I'm closing my eyes. Don't want to see Father Christmas as a woman. I'm surprised they haven't done that. You can imagine that they will do something like that one day. John Jewess. It's a shit advert for a shit company. Bollocks to them. Yeah. I think someone in the chat already said it to boycott John Lewis, which, yeah, I would agree. Cute white mum. Yeah. Yeah. A non-binary alien, how progressive, satanic, AT phone home to another continent. Token white looks like a tea party. Let me see. And they are killing the song with some weird minor key shite. Well, that's the point I was making. It's just this whole fucking modern version of like cover songs for these classic songs. It's like, just leave it alone, for Christ's sake. Let me see. They're all joggers. It's Black Christmas. I mentioned that already. Blah, 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 blah. Tyrone would be trying to mug her. Oh dear. So there is snow in Africa. Oh dear. Oh dear. Yes, they have to destroy everything. Puke, mince or pies. Radio Caroline on the Ross revenge is a part of English white culture. Visit and enjoy. I'll have a look at that. That's later on and see from there. Thank you for that. She kisses him and leaves. She, my dick. John. Ah, dear. What was your favorite cartoon as a wee guy? Good question, John Parr. Even though I wasn't necessarily born in the 80s, but I would say my favorite cartoons growing up would be, of course, they came out slightly before my time, but I managed to. But my family would have old copies of like videotapes of these cartoons. Even just saying that it makes me sound like an old boomer saying that, but even that's beside the point. But I remember watching stuff like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, or Hero Turtles, as it was known here in the UK. Thundercats was another one. That was another classic I grew up watching. Again, from videotapes. But I also grew up watching Power Rangers, even though that's not necessarily a cartoon per se, but I remember watching that. A lot of stuff I grew up watching, but that was mainly like stuff from the 80s or the 90s I used to grow up watching, but really good stuff. I didn't watch Transformers. That was maybe later on with the live action films, but still. But I would say my favorite cartoons growing up when I was a wee lad were Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the 80s show, and also Thundercats. To be honest, those were absolute amazing. If I even Tom and Jerry still gets me today. I used to watch that a lot when I was a kid as well. That was really good stuff. I really enjoyed watching that. The old Tom and Jerry show, not the new stuff they were showcasing later on, but still. Obvious disrespectful of the native British. It absolutely was. Only thing left is to go and live in the woods. I could definitely imagine that. Well, we have Woodlander in the chat who's pretty much living off the grid, if that would be fair to say, Woodlander. But if shit hits the fan, I would imagine people would start living in the woods or going off the grid at that point. So disgusting. Of course, the great jog set definitely is coming off like that. So we got a name. Dame Sharon Michelle White, DBE, CEO of John Lewis. Interesting. Well, that's showcasing their advertisement there. Okay, but I want to know who exactly owns it. Design, print, TV. Right. Okay. Damn it. Maybe see if I can find Explore. If I don't manage to find something like that during the stream later on, then I'll see if I can post it in my Telegram page. But for now, like what John Enoch Powell MBE in the chat has showcased here, I'll see if I can look this person up or this woman up. Let's see here a moment. And hopefully, I won't get hit by a copyright strike with that. I don't think it'll be that bad, but even still. So I know what happened to Jodie K with her stream this past Tuesday, which is so gay of YouTube to do that. All this because she played some songs, but they're copyrighted. Like, get a grip, YouTube. At least with DLive, I'm not necessarily a fan of DLive per se, but at least with DLive, it doesn't affect Jodie's stream whatsoever. But YouTube are just so hyper fucking sensitive with that shit. Let me have a look here and see. Oh, fuck me. Right, okay. Right, okay. So we found the woman in question. Just want to make sure if... Yeah, it is. Okay, right. Feast your eyes on this, folks. This is from John Enoch Powell, MBE, about the CEO of John Lewis. And I think this right here pretty much says everything we need to know about that. Here we go. There's a Dame Sharon Michelle White, DBE, is a British businesswoman. She is currently chair of the John Lewis Partnership, having previously held a variety of roles in the civil service. She was the chief executive of the British media regulator, Ofcom from March 2015 to November of 2019. I was second permanent secretary at HM Treasury from 2013 to 2015. She was the first black person and the second woman to become a permanent secretary at the Treasury. So I think this goes to show who's involved, mainly when it comes to the John Lewis advert. But I'm pretty sure there'd be other people involved with the John Lewis advert as well. I even see people saying "white lol." the irony of that. Let me see. So I never expected that, to be quite honest. But hey, I think that definitely goes to show the type of people we're dealing with here regarding to that. So. Banana Man, although it would be banned today, yeah, especially with stuff from the Dandy. Let's see. Why do people simp for the John Lewis advert every single year is totally weird, man. Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised with the amount of likes with that advert, but I guess because they produced a lot of good content, but I don't know. Anyway, Bod and Mr. Ben, no worries. I guess I think that's the name of a cartoon, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, John Lewis is one of the few department stores not to be set up by them. Ah, interesting. Will o' the Wisp, that's the cartoon you watched. Nog and the Nog was quality TV. Let's see, Ludwig, Trumpton, Orange Man, Badton. I will trump you all the Pipkins, Rhubarb and Custard. That's an old cartoon from Remember. Yeah, of course, for Beer Hall Pooch. Every single time. Of course. Yeah, these people. Oh, I keep saying that. These people. Wile E. Coyote. I think that's an old Looney Tunes or Warner Brothers cartoon, if I'm not mistaken. I remember watching that stuff as well. All the old Looney Tunes cartoons. Bugs Bunny and all of that, yeah. Those were the days. Used to be Woolworths, the big Christmas ads. Yeah, I remember those adverts. In fact, I remember. Invader Zim. I also remember watching that show back in the day. That was a good cartoon. But anyway, yeah, Woolworths. I remember were they were churning out really good, really big Christmas adverts. In fact, I even still remember the old Coca-Cola advert. That was pretty popular back in its day. Like, I don't know if it's still being played today, but even still. So, Captain Pugwash. I think they did an updated version of that in the past. Don't know if I remember seeing that, but still. Top Cat was cool. The old Hanna-Barbera cartoon, if I remember. Let me see here. Yep. Oh God, oh my English sailor, really? Maybe I can imagine that maybe before all that stuff came out about Savile, but still, that's that's really dark, man. That's fucked. Oh dear. Felix Border, how you doing? Thank you very much for watching the show. Hector's House. I don't think I've ever heard of that show before. Let me see here. Yep, everything's all up to date with the chat just now. That's good. Original Tom and Jerry by Fred Quimby. Genius. Yep, it definitely was good stuff even back then. Hong Kong Fooey, I remember that, even though I might have been a bit too young with that, but even still, I remember stuff like that, kind of like reruns of those old shows back on Cartoon Network back in the day. God, that makes me sound really old. The Magic Roundabout, I remember seeing bits of that. I also remember growing up watching, I don't know if people in the chat may remember this show, not Danger Mouse, although I've never seen that, but I have seen clips of it. I also remember watching Wacky Racers. But there was another show I remember growing up watching a lot, and I loved the hell out of this show. It was called Dragon Ball Z, if anyone remembers that. I don't know if anyone has ever watched that show, or maybe like your kids might have watched it, nephews or younger brothers may have watched it, but I remember I used to watch the hell out of that show. That show was just fucking awesome. It was like a show that wasn't really made for, well, it was made for kids in the perspective of Japan and that, because I know it's a completely different culture over there in Japan, but when it was brought over here, it was like a show that didn't feel it was made for kids, and it's almost like it was like you felt like you weren't really allowed to watch it because it was quite. It had a bit of an edge to it, that sort of thing, where you wasn't too sure you were allowed to watch it, but you did anyway because of how awesome it was. Um, but yeah, so I remember watching that a lot. Dragon Ball is still going, isn't it? Well, I mean, it's still been. I know there is Dragon Ball Super that came out a few years back, and I think it is still kind of going with the new movies coming out. In fact, that they're coming out with a new film called Dragon Ball Superhero that's going to be out next year. It's like just let that series die already. I mean, it's just it's ridiculous how long that series has been going on for. Yu-Gi-Oh came out after I didn't like either. Fair enough. After the time with that. Let me see. Dragon Ball Z, yes. Stop the Pigeon. What is going on? Lol. The Clangers, Captain Pugwash, the original Tom and Jerry was awesome. Violence and racism, lovely stuff. Deputy Dog. I don't know if I remember watching that. I'm not entirely sure. Walt Disney was a National Socialist. I don't know about National Socialist, but Walt Disney he was pretty based on a lot of things. In fact, he would be the type of person he would be cancelled today if he was around today, because he said a lot of stuff that would be that would not fly by today, regarding to today's standards. So, let me see here. Anyone remember Stretch Eric? I don't think it. No. Chief Moody Super Saiyan kilt. Yeah, especially with the someone actually should do a fan art of that, but that would be pretty cool to see someone drawing me as like a Super Saiyan going all ape shit and my hair glowing gold or whatever the color was. That would be pretty funny, that. My son was a Dragon Ball Z fanatic. Yeah, I wouldn't say I was a fanatic, but I remember it was like Coronation Street for me. It was like I have to watch the next episode. It was just so brilliant. Um, but yeah, it was really good stuff back in it. My son loves it. Yeah, well done, by the way. I'm just considering it being that day. Flintstones. I used to watch Flintstones as well back in the day, and also Inspector Gadget. That was good stuff. I remember a cartoon I saw on Cartoon Network a long time ago, Zatch Bell, anime about using midgets as Pokemon. It only had one season, and I laughed my ass off. I don't remember that show, but from the description of it, it definitely sounds like it would come from Japan. But anyway, so my mates like Dragon Ball. I never got into it though. Yeah, I can understand why many people would not really get into it, mainly because of the length of the series. I mean, it does feel at times it would drag on from each like show from time to time. Some parts it might get a bit ridiculous. Even certain plot holes might arise with the future episodes of the show, but I can see why people may like it. I can also understand why people would not like the show. But anyway, Go Gadget Rome. Based. The Pink Panther. I think there was a cartoon of the Pink Panther show, but I think I remember watching that as well. There was a lot of cartoons I remember watching back in the day. Batman was my idol from a young age. He was just a man. Yeah, I remember watching the animated series back in the day as well of Batman. That was an awesome cartoon. Asterix and Obelix, I remember seeing that as well. I liked watching Cow and Chicken with my son. I remember watching that as well back in the day. That was a pretty fun cartoon to watch. But anyway, just seeing the M&S card Christmas advert, just as you expect. Black dad, white mom, black kids. Well, no surprise there, of course. It's trying to promote the biracial agenda regarding to that, of course. Early Simpsons was a must-watch. OG Batman. If I ever get in charge and become grand dictator, then I'm banning anime. It will probably be one of my only bans. You know what? I would agree to that. I think anime can be pretty degenerate, depending on which series you watch, of course, regarding to anime. But still, he was a man with a friend called Robin. Oh dear. Excellent. Right. I think what I'll do, folks, is I think it's about 9 minutes to 8. I think I will call it a night there. So I'm going to see if I can put on an outro song for tonight's episode, and then we'll see from there, of course. And like I said, regarding to what was brought up earlier on in terms of the Adam and Eve thing when it comes to the John Lewis stuff, I'll see if I can maybe find something with that and post it in my Telegram page. And then, of course, see from there as well. But honestly, folks, I think the peak viewership of tonight's episode was about 66, maybe 67 people watched the show. But again, really good stuff with that. And still a very good turnout nonetheless. I really do appreciate your continuing support as ever, guys. I really do appreciate that. I also appreciate everyone who constantly shares the stream on a weekly basis, whether it be on a Thursday episode or a Sunday episode. It really means a lot to me regarding to that. And I really do appreciate your ever-growing support for the show, of course. I really do appreciate that, folks. For the time being, I'm going to see if I can pick an outro song and then end the show for tonight. I definitely will be back on Sunday on the 7th of November for episode 41. And then, of course, same as usual, just talk about certain subjects. Maybe I might do something a bit different. Maybe I'll do like a... I should have actually was going to do a book review on Hammer of the Patriot. I'm going to see if I can try and do a book review on Hammer of the Patriot, because I did mention that before that I was going to talk about that book on the show. So maybe I'll see if I can try and talk about it on Sunday's episode, but I'm not entirely too sure yet, but we'll definitely see it there. So just real quick, thank you for a lovely stream. Be safe and please take care. White Heart 14. Thank you very much for your support, English Rose, and of course, same goes to yourself and also everyone else in the chat. I hope you all stay safe and take care of yourselves. And also, just real quick, I know times can be really tough for a lot of people, especially with the current climate we're living in just now. I know there can be moments where there'll be people will be depressed or people will be feeling very black-pilled on certain things, but I just want to say just real quick, folks, you're not alone in this fight. You're definitely not alone in the struggle we're facing just now. I know there will come a point where people will stumble, you will fall, and all of that, but we are a community of people. We are a community that does come together and support one another. So what I want to see is, if there ever is a time where you do feel down, you do feel depressed or black-pilled or anything like that at all, please speak to someone, whether it be your friend, personally, a family member, or if there's anyone from this community that you want to step aside and say, listen, I need to talk to someone. I guarantee they will talk to you regarding to that. So yes, exactly, Woodlander. You can always get back up, exactly that, which is why definitely do speak to someone regarding to that. So because there will be someone in your life, again, whether it be friends in your personal life or family members or anyone from this community, that will give a shit about what you're going through with that. So, so please do speak to someone, whether it be myself. You can always find me on other platforms like Telegram or Gab or anywhere like that at all. Just give me a message and I'll see I can talk to you with that. Or not just myself, by the way. It could be anyone from PA or anyone from our community for that matter, who will be there to speak to you if you need that support. Because I know it can be tough, especially with the current climate, but with the darkness we're in just now, there is always a light at the end of the tunnel at the end of the day. So hopefully that may come across well for everyone else with that. So anyway, hopefully you've all enjoyed tonight's show. Chief Moody, do you know where there? Sorry, do you know are there any good fast streams to go to now, please? Good question. Let me just have a quick check. I don't know of anyone who'd be live on a Thursday show. I'll just have a quick check and I'll see if I can play an outro for the song. Who normally streams? Well, I do know Professor Edward Dutton is live just now, but I don't know if it's going to go on or if it's going to come to an end shortly. But he's live if you're curious. I don't know if Ayatollah, but he's going to be streaming tomorrow night at 9 p.m. with no guests. Oh, okay, fair enough. I don't know if John Davison would be live on a Thursday, but the only stream I can see at the moment would be Edward Dutton's. I don't know if you want to call it necessarily a fast stream, but even still, if you're interested in that, then check out Dr. Edward Dutton's stream at the moment. If I can find anything later on, I'll post it in my Telegram page, and then if you guys want, you can always check on click on the link regarding to that. So anyway, but for now, what I will do is, yes, our time is coming. Definitely that's definitely true. Indigenous Africa, I do agree on that. Anyway, for the time being, that being said, I really hold on a sec. Ellie Bree, Renee Britannia. Also, I met Wes on weekend. Thanks. Oh, that's good. So yeah, even Aunt Sally, so it's both Ellie Bree and also Aunt Sally in the chat. Thank you both very much for that. Renew Britannia at 9. Apparently, Chief Moody. All right, cool, excellent. So yes, I'll see if I can also post a link for his stream in my Telegram page as well at 9 p.m. So just before it goes on, then I'll post it there, of course, with that. Have a great evening, everyone. Catch you tomorrow. I'll be streaming with Bonnie Lad at 7 p.m. Well, there you go. Check out Bonnie Lad's stream tomorrow at 7 p.m. And also later on tonight, check out Wes's stream at 9 p.m. tonight as well. So there you go. Excellent. Right. So for that being said, I really want to thank you all again very much for your ongoing support. And also for everyone to and also checking out the stream, of course, with that. So I will be back on Sunday at 5 p.m. With episode 41. Definitely we'll see from there. So anyway, but for the meantime, I will see if I can play an outro song for you guys at the moment. And then see from there, of course. What song to play us out with, I wonder. Something chilled, something more relaxed, I would say. Let me see. Or maybe something that I haven't really played in a long while. Yeah, I haven't played an Olivia Key song in a while, so maybe I'll play this one. Anyway, see if I can pause that real quick and put that a little bit louder for the volume, and then see from there. God damn it. Yeah, there we go. Right, I'll see if I can share the screen at the moment. Let's see. Links for the Dutton stream. Right, 1 second here. Okay. Now, again, I'm not too sure if Dutton will be coming to an end, or maybe he's still going to be streaming for the time being, but let me just put it in the link just in case. Hold on. Ed Dutton. Check. Right, it's live just now. I'll just get the link for his stream real quick. All right, excellent. So there's the link for Dutton's or Edward Dutton's stream if you guys want to check that out, and of course see from there. Also in the chat, if you can, let them know that I've sent you, of course. Well, if you want to, of course, with that. No pressure with that. Anyway, that's the link for Edward Dutton's stream. I've got the song queued up for now for the outro. Again, a very big thank you to everyone in the chat who's kept on supporting me, kept on watching the stream. Or the episodes of Mid of the Nation. Really do appreciate that. Thank you all very much. And like I said, if there's ever a point if you're feeling down or depressed or anything like that at all, please speak to someone from our community or anyone you know personally. It would be very beneficial with that. Anyway, that being said, thank you again. This is Chief Moody signing out. You have been watching the Mood of the Nation podcast, and I'll see you on Sunday at 5 p.m. with episode 41. And I'll see you all there. So thank you. Take care, stay safe, and good night. Thank you.
Generation trip. God forbid you have pride. And all this doesn't shake the bones, awakening a rage that only grows. Echoing, 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 you will not replace us. You will not erase us. Darkness will be overthrown as patience dies and courage finds its home. Echoing, echoing, echoing. And nothing can take what my forefathers gave. Though they fight and fight until the heavens will strike it. I won't be denied, and my grace and my own country light is my skin, and I'll live to tell its story. My blood, water the nation. My blood.